All right. We're here once again. Let me get all my shit together. Hold on. Why is this not already up though? I don't understand that. Warlon. All right. Okay. All right, man. All right. Happy Monday, everybody. When y'all come on, please make sure that you like the video. Like, share, all of that. All of that goody stuff. I need to get this link so that I can push this out there where it needs to be. Also, let me know how the audio is coming through. Hopefully it's not static on any level. You know, all of that stuff. All right. I see J. Carly got her slides. She got her slides. It's all over. So we're gonna hear about for the rest of the week. All right. So I got it in two of the chats. I think my alarm is working, so that's good. And almost have everything shared where it needs to be. Almost there. Okay. Got two more spots and then we good. Earlier there was, I believe, an MRMH on the Aussie dollar. So for those of you trading that particular market, you'll want to keep an eye out to see if the market provides any follow-through trades. You guys have been doing real good with sharing videos in the chat. I'm telling you, even when it's something that isn't anything, what you think is nothing is something, because it allows you to be able to identify why not. So identifying why is just as important as identifying why not. All right, so we live on IG as well. All right, so Instagram is live. We live here. Hopefully audio is good. Alarm is set. We ready to go. All right, cool. And I need to set this chat up right now so I can see where you guys are. Let's see something. Currently, Euro's still doing a little too much. Just doing a little too much for right now. But it's all good. All right, so let's get it cracking, man. Let's get it cracking. Let us get it cracking. Let me mute this. Make sure you like the video when you come on, please. Appreciate it. David O, what's happening, man? All right, so we good to go. Very good topic today. Very good topic today. Before I get to that, let me see who's here. Jelani's in the building. Melanie's here. Hassan is here. Jay Carly's here. Stacy is ready. Jeffrey's here. Damon in the building. Damon, I'll let you judge from the color. I'll let you be the judge from the color. You know that liquor gonna be a little darker than that. Yeah, that's a little apple juice, man. A little bit of the apple. All right, so title today, topic today. Is trading for a living worth striving for? I think this is real good. I think this is a very, very good topic. Sadiq is in the building. Don is in the building. All right, and IG is up and running. Yep, so is trading for a living worth striving for? So we're going to get into it. I think that, and these are my earbuds right here. These stay on deck. Like when I'm not doing this, it's 301 on repeat, man. All day. Literally all day with these joints. Trading for a living, first of all, is something that not many people are doing. Relatively speaking, and I actually I did some research, like I was looking into income levels. Come to realize that only 6% of the population in the United States makes more than 6 figures a year. So basically, if you making 6 figures or more per year, you in the top 6% of income earners in the whole country. And the reason that that's powerful information is because as far as trading goes, it's not hard to do that. It's really not. It's a matter of you being able to be profitable. That's the key to it. So, you know, there's levels to it. There's levels to trading. There are some traders that are making 6 figures in a month. And not to say that that's not something I would ever want to do, but I'm not eager to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if it happens, it happens. But that's not something like, oh, I gotta be getting to the end. Like mentally, it's not something that I think that you should be trying to kill yourself to do. It's like people want more and more and more when you really should be kind of not satisfied, but just be okay with what you're capable of doing and learn how to more so live within your means, live below your means. Now, the further into higher income that you get, the further away that you get from the average person. Like regular people are not in the income category of that 6% for the most part. Don't get me wrong. There are people with great jobs. There are people, doctors and lawyers. They in the top 6%. But that's not the average person. Like anytime I think about just people in general, I'm thinking about regular people. I don't separate myself from the average person, like from regular people. Maybe this is what it is. And I don't know if this is, a good or bad thing, but this is just how I am. No matter how much money I make, I'm always going to be the same way you see me right now. I'm going to be just like this. So what happens is it confuses people because they're like, well, he's regular though. Like when they look at me, they're like, he's a regular guy. Because you don't see me doing stuff that people who make more money do. But that's not me. You understand? It's like no matter what, you got to stay true to who you are and to yourself and just be that. Instead of trying to perpetrate something that you're not for the sake of creating perception for something that you want other people to believe about you. I'm not like that. That's why, again, people get confused because they see regular me, like, oh, he's a regular dude. He hangs out in the car. If he ain't in the car, he's in Starbucks. If he ain't doing that, he in his house. It's like he's regular. And it's like, I love that because what that means is that you really don't know anything. You see what I'm saying? So you got to make an assumption based on what you see. So you just see a regular dude. But everybody who knows me is like, oh, nah. Mark get busy. He gets busy in the market though. You understand? So that's what I mean about like the disconnect that exists between when people make more money and then how they behave and how they conduct themselves just in life. It's like, is money going to change you? And I think for the most part, when people are not used to having money, money does, it amplifies what your natural behavior is anyway. It makes you more of who you actually are. So it's like if you was an asshole before you had money, after you get money, you're going to be more of an asshole. You understand what I'm saying? So this is something I think about a lot. And I'm like, yo, I realize that people get a perception when they look at me because they're like, oh, he's regular. He ain't making a lot of money. And I'm okay with that because how much money I'm making ain't none of your business when it's all said and done. You understand what I'm saying? I know. And that's it. The people that need to know. And the only thing that you can do is assume I'm either making money or not making money. But the one thing you can't deny is that I trade for a living. You see what I'm saying? This is what I think about. So I'm just kind of going through my own mental processes to try to communicate it a little bit more. And I think that's what happens. People associate, oh, he's a full-time trader. They think that if you're a full-time trader, you got to be making millions of dollars every year. Why? You could be a full-time trader and be making $5,000 a month. If you trade for a living, then that's what you do for a living. It's like it's no different than financially if you on a job making $60,000 a year. That's the equivalent, right? $5,000 a month. If all you made from trading was 5 racks, That's 60 racks a year right there. All right, that's a decent income. You could do some things with that. You understand? So now, as you elevate your skill, your income begins to reflect your skills. This is why trading for a living is worth striving for. Because when you trade for a living, right? If you develop the skill set to trade, it means that you now can elevate and scale up your financial situation whenever you want to, just by simply rearranging the way that you navigate in the market. You can take more trades. You can scale up the size of your trades, right? It's like you can do a lot because you're doing it for a living. There's no restriction on it. Again, if the way that you're moving in the market is based on your skills, that means that your skills will allow you to increase your financial situation accordingly, however you want to do it. You can scale up contracts if you're doing what we do. Some people trade in the stock market, some people trade in Forex, whatever they're doing. You can scale up. You can increase the amount that you actually make. However, you can only do that with the proper skill set. And that is why trading is worth striving for, because when you trade for a living, it means that you have to have the skill set. People who trade for a living have the skill set. Hello. Otherwise, you ain't going to be able to trade for a living for any period of time. Period. I've been doing this since 2006. Haven't had a job since. How am I able to do that? Like what? Like how am I able to actually do that? Folks be calling me while I'm on my live stream. Stop calling me while I'm on the live stream, please. Thank you. But listen, so again, in order for you to be able to trade for a living, it means that you have to actually possess skill. Otherwise, you won't be able to trade for a living. So that's why I'm saying that it is worth striving for, because I know that in order for you to do it, you have to have the skill set in order to actually do it. You understand what I'm saying? That's the point that I'm making more so. You got to have the skill set. Otherwise, you won't be able to trade for a living. And that's it. So that says a lot about the way that you're pursuing trading. If you look at trading as something that you can actually do for a living, it changes the dynamic for how you'll deal with actually learning how to do it. You'll take it more serious when you know you can actually do that instead of having a job. You can actually trade for a living instead of working for somebody else. Instead of, being under pressure of getting fired from your job. You understand? So now it puts everything in a different perspective and in a different light altogether, because you realize, oh, you know what? I actually can trade. If I take this serious and actually learn the skills, I can do this. It changes the whole dynamic of everything. And that's why, in my opinion, it's definitely worth striving for, no matter what you do. I mean, unless you just absolutely love what you do for a living, like, you love your job and you see yourself there forever, or you doing something else, you in another business or whatever. I understand that. But for the average person, like a regular person, is this worth striving for? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But make no mistake about it, you are going to have to acquire skills. Because you cannot trade for a living without them. So I just wanted to, to clarify that. But let me come up and come into these comments real quick. This is good stuff too. J. Carly said, nah, just trade for fun. She said, go ahead and take the buy right now. Micah says, trading for a living is most definitely worth striving for if you know what you're doing in the market. There we go. There we go. That's the confirmation of what I just said. You got to have a skill. Fuchsia says, real talk, you can make 30,000 and 40,000 and live big in other countries. Lifestyle depends on how big you want to go. Absolutely. Don says a trader that makes six figures in a month doesn't necessarily strive for it. It just happens as part of the process. That's why I said, if it would have happened, it would happen organically and people wouldn't even know. Nobody would even know that I'm doing that because I'm going to be the same way. It's like I switch up. Like you can't ever put me in the box anyway. One day I might be on some fly shit. Another day I'll be on some regular shit. I can go in and out and do whatever at all times. So you ain't even going to know. Because there's certain things I'm just not going to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like that reflects whatever level of income that I might be at. I don't have to do that because that's not the reason that I'm doing it. That's the result of me doing it, but it's not the reason why. You see? So that's the difference. That's why I said that earlier, and I agree. Yep, I agree. Yep, you ain't even looking to do that, but you end up doing that because you actually have the skills. Damon said lower that 6% when you start talking about profitable six-figure income earning from home. Right. Damon said, what's even funny is when they assume that you broke. They thought that about my grandfather when he went into a Lincoln dealership one time. They had no idea. Right. Yeah, they think, see, because they look at how you dress too. They're like, oh, you got a t-shirt on. You know, he got on a baseball cap. It's like, nah, man, relax. It's like, relax, man. You don't know what I got in my wallet. Just because I got a baseball cap on. Just relax. Yo, that's funny. I'm going to tell a story in a second. I'm going to tell a funny story in a second. All right, Aki is another one. Damon said the difference is you make $60,000 a year without punching into someone else's clock. Exactly. Walker's in the building. J. Carr said, this is interesting. I've only ever wanted to just be full-time and whatever I needed to make to do that. Right. Damon said the difference is you make 60,000. Oh, I just said that. Hold on. He said they're trying to join Mark. They want to be in the 6%. And see, that's what I'm saying. It's like you can make six figures a year trading. Like no doubt about it. And what's so funny is that people struggle just trading, period, because they never really learn the skills. You understand? They don't learn the skills. So they never get to the point where they make any money. And then they dismiss and they disregard it altogether because they're like, nah, you know, trading is a scam, trading is this, trading is that. But what it is that you never really put yourself in position to acquire the actual skill set required to trade. So because of that, trading is not what it could be for you. It ends up being something that is a detriment to you because you're not actually learning the skills in order to trade. All you doing is dilly-dallying and dabbling and playing around with trading. You're not actually learning anything. I'm gonna throw 500 in this account. You know, I'm gonna get some signals and I'm gonna go. It's not a long-term way to go about doing anything at all. At all. Future said trading skill set equals freedom. Absolutely. Don said there's literally a small shift in perspective to become a profitable trader versus an unprofitable trader. Yes. Hell yeah. Jay Carly, I kind of understand what you're saying, but will you elaborate a little bit on the shift? Yeah, I like that. And I know exactly what he's talking about. I would like to hear what he says though. Let me look at this EU for a second. Hold on. See that EU time and the behavior still there, acting funny. Nope. It's attempting to slow down though, so that's good. Palea says it's very simple. If you like freedom, this is worth striving for. Period. Hold on. Let me get it up. Come on, we done built up Don. We built up the Don DeMarco. I had to let that off. Damon said you need to get on that Shaq Diesel. I got skills. Vibes all day. Yep, you already know. You already know. J. Carly, success to me is having all bills paid, no debt, no time clock. So I'm not trying to be a millionaire. It doesn't mean we can't get there though, but I don't want to stress that. And it's so funny because people think about the millionaire thing a lot, but they don't really think about the plan that they would need to achieve that. And what it ends up becoming is just like, kind of like the same as messing around with a lottery ticket. You know what I'm saying? It's like luck. It becomes a luck thing because they're looking at $1 million like it's easy to do. You know, I'm going to develop an app, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get to $1 million before I'm 30. Like these are the times we living in now. Younger people think like that. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I've met them. Yeah. I do IT. Yeah, I'm going to develop an app, and then, you know, or I'm going to get into, what's that thing called where they raise money? Capital, whatever that shit is called. I forgot what it's called. You know what I'm talking about. But where they raise capital, like venture capitalism. They talk about doing all of this extra shit, but they're not really incorporating anything as far as skill goes to do something. And it's like, well, how do you plan on achieving what you're trying to get to without a skill? There has to be skill involved so that you can scale up. You can make it bigger if you got the skill to do it. This applies to anything. It definitely applies to what we do in trading. So this is bigger than a trading thing. It's not just about trading, but it just happens to be that trading is a place where you can apply skill and take your skill and elevate your income, and like you can go wherever you want to go with it, but you need the skill first. That's the key to it. That's what people are so confused about in trading. They don't know that. They thinking, oh, well, I just need to learn how to trade. No. Anybody can trade. It's not about trading. It's about learning how to be consistently profitable when you trade. That's a skill. That's a skill right there, period. So that's the part right there that people miss a lot. Nigo, what's good, man? Paley said, yeah, one day you'll see me in a Lambo, another day in a Honda. Depends on who's around me. There you go. You got them both on deck. Don says, Steve Jobs, stay fly, black shirt and blue jeans. All the time. All the time. Yep. Descartes said, I love this new approach. Good job, Spike. Don, when I say shift, I mean stuff is in just being disciplined versus not being disciplined. Right. Right. It's the mindset shift. See, Don is talking about everything that we do and everything that we talk about in training. Shifting your mindset, learning how to become patient and disciplined, because you think that you have patience and discipline now, but when you start dealing and interacting with the market, you realize that you don't. That's the first thing that got to be corrected. The first thing, before you even thinking about trading, you got to figure out how to stop your behaviors. Impatience is a behavior. Lack of discipline is a behavior that you have. You got to clip them. Like clip the wings off, right? Like off the rip before you try to do anything. You ain't going to be able to trade if you ain't got no discipline. So that's why when Don said that, I knew exactly what he was talking about. The mindset got to shift before you do anything. Before you even think about taking a trade. He said it's just being disciplined an extra minute or 2 minutes that can make you money or lose money. Right. Right. And if you condition to do that, you're going to do that automatically, eventually, without trying to. You just do that by default. Jay Carly said, cool, that's where I thought you were going. Yep. Ooh, Stacy said 1 egg plus 1 basket equals TA. Come on, Stacy. That's it. Shit. Don said, like, remember any given Sunday football, the game of inches trades in a game of minutes. Right. Right. Very good analogy. That was good. Jay Carly says, facts. I've heard many people over the years say, I just wish I had $1 million. Right. Okay, then what? Ooh, that's hard. That's hard. It's just like if right now, if somebody gave you $1 million, what would you do? You know what the average person gonna do. They're gonna spend it. The average person is spending $1 million if you give it to them. The smart person is going to not do anything. They're going to wait, and they're going to figure out how not only to preserve that money, but how to make it more. They're like, wait, it's $1 million. Let's figure out how to make this more. Let's figure out how to make this work so that it can actually pay me some money. What can I do with this to put it somewhere where it can actually generate more income so that I don't even have to touch this? This is how smarter people think. You see what I'm saying? That's how somebody that thinks outside the box is thinking. Everybody else, oh, $1 million? Oh, you know what I can get with that? It's like they're thinking about what they can get. Car, they're going to try to get a house. Right? They're going to try to buy all of these things that cost money. And I mean ongoing. A car that's not an asset. That's an expense. It's a liability. A house, yeah, to a degree is an asset, but at the same time, it also costs money. Your house got taxes every year. You got to pay for water. You got to pay your own water bill. Right? You got a beautiful landscape. You got to pay for landscaping. You got to pay to maintain the lifestyle that you have with the house. That shit ain't free. Ain't nobody doing it for free. Nobody's doing it for free. You got to pay for that. Maintenance. It costs money. Depending on where you live, that shit might cost $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a year. Oh, he live in $1 million house. Well, how much does it cost him? You might have paid $500,000 for the house, but how much does it cost to maintain the house? You got to pay taxes every year, bro. That water bill due. Power, all of that. You got to pay for that. I'm just saying. So this is the thinking. It's like, so if you don't structure everything just for yourself as a business, You ain't gonna operate nothing as a business. This is how people bust. They get their hands on money, money is gone. And then they're not left with anything. So not only did you take the money and just blow it, you didn't even use the money to actually acquire something that could generate more money. Even learning a skill. Even if it's just something as simple as taking some of that money, learn something. Learn how to do something. Figure something out. Don't just take that money and spend it. That's just wasting it. It's just like pouring out. That's like pouring out your liquor. Just imagine you a drinker, right? You just bought a whole bottle and you just pour it out. You don't get to enjoy it. Nothing. Just pour it out. Like, damn, man, all my liquor's gone. Yeah, you just poured it out. It's the equivalent of that. Nonsense. But this is what people do, man. And it's crazy. Like, people really be doing this. So they do, like, people do that when it comes to getting their hands on lump sums of money. And just in general, people are doing that. And it's like, you got to auto-correct that, because if you don't, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Now you got to think about the future. And if you haven't positioned yourself at all for the future, you ain't really going to have a future that's bright. You're going to have to struggle and do all the shit that you probably was already doing before you had that money. And I'm just using that as an example. But just generally speaking, it's like, to get outside of the trap and the loop that you in, you're going to have to break that up. You got to do something. You got to learn the skill. You got to do something. Because if you don't, you'll continue. So unless you plan on continuing doing what you're doing, learn how to move. Learn how to move, man. Damon said most millionaires accidentally became millionaires. You ain't lying. Jay Carr said, I want to do less shit. I'm 44, got shit I want to see and do. Right. See what I'm saying? You might want to travel. And if you got the cash flow to do it, you can do it. Come on, man. So it's like, all right, well, how do I get the cash flow? That's where the skill set comes in. You need a skill that can produce that cash flow. For some people, they learn how to do real estate. I'm just using that as an example. Some people learn how to flip houses. Some people mess with tax liens in real estate. It's all these different niches and different directions you can go in. These are skill sets people are learning. They learn how to navigate the real estate industry. And I'm using that as an example because people are like, people know what I'm talking about. That's a popular thing. Some people flip houses. Buy a house, fix it up, sell it. Buy it for cheap. They know the budget for the repair. They figure out how much everything on course. Then they get it appraised. They're like, oh shit, yeah, we're gonna make about 30,000 on this. It costs you 15 to do everything. 10,000 to buy the house, 5,000 for the repairs or whatever. And I'm exaggerating, but I'm just saying. When it's all said and done, the profit, you end up with 30,000 on that house. Then they take that 30,000 from that flip, boom, they go do the shit again. They get 2 or 3 more properties at the same time. And now they start leveraging. That's a skill. That's a skill. Learning how to do that shit is a skill. People do it. That's what I'm talking about. Whatever the skill set is, learn. Jeffrey said, anything you want to do has been done before. There's a blueprint. Skill. He said, find it and follow the roadmap already laid out for your lessons, the learning curve. He said, follow the roadmap. All facts. Follow the roadmap already laid out for you. It lessens the learning curve. Pele said, I'm going to accidentally scale up. Oh shit, I like that. J. Carr said, if I want to drive a $100,000 car, I'm gonna rent it for a week. She said, I don't want that kind of responsibility. Hello? It's like if you paid $100,000 for your car, how much do it cost to change the damn oil? Like how much is an oil change on that bad boy? It's kind of crazy. Like, come on, man. Come on. I mean, like that's funny, but it's true. That is so funny, but it's very true, man. That's how I think too. I'm like, see, like y'all want all this shit, but you know that it costs money, right? It's like kids. Everybody want kids until they actually gotta take care of them. You know how when you're younger, you're like, oh yeah, I want to have a couple of kids. Then you start having kids, and you're like, what the fuck? Damn, you eat all the time. You eat all day. Because you realize it's like, oh shit, this is maintenance. This requires me. I gotta do shit all the time. Yeah. They are your responsibility, nobody else's. That's you. Those are your kids. So it becomes the same thing with everything that you want to buy. You want this, and that. It has a cost to maintain it. If you're okay with that responsibility and you're in position to pay for it, then do your thing. If not, you might bite off more than you can chew. You know, it's crazy. She said, I'm less likely to get carjacked in a Honda. She said, I'm about the Honda life, the Acura life. Stupid. Damon says, lack of discipline is unprofitable behavior like jerks in the market. Yup. Paley says, shoot, if you give me $1 million, I'm making 50,000 on the MRMH follow through. Fuchsia says, move like a corporation versus moving like a regular person. Exactly. Structure your life like a business. Boom. Nico said, invest in yourself. All of that, man. All of that. Paley is never spend your money, spend your earnings, and then reinvest it. Right. Yep. Don't spend your capital. That's hard. Futures, banks and government like to give corporations more money over people. Very true. Very true. Yep. Let me see. Jeffrey said, average private jet is $1 million a year for use and maintenance. They want your $1 million. Oh, man. Salim, just need meat and coke. He said, my wife, though, is all up in that spending. I don't think it's just your wife. I think it's wives. Paley is, yeah, that's why ball players go broke. Yeah, a lot of athletes, you're right about that. They do, they run into financial trouble after a while, man. Overspending and trying to support that lifestyle. And if you're not a commodity on the team to be paid millions of dollars to maintain that lifestyle, you're going to run into problems. And it happens. Look at Iverson. That's just one example. And Iverson is one of the greatest players ever. His spending was crazy. Spent too much. Damon says sometimes making more money is a trap for the person that isn't wise enough to handle that money properly. Facts. Yup. Cash flow. Salim said trading is way better than real estate. I agree with that. Don, a few people who do real estate ask if once they learn to trade, then it's much better than real estate. Few people who do real estate ask If once they learn to trade, it's much better than real estate. Jay Carter said, hell yeah, it is. Waiting for MRH all day over waiting for my tenant's rent payments. Come on. Come on now. especially during the COVID. You waiting to see if they get another stimulus so they can pay the rent. I'm just saying. Oh shit. Damon said real estate is awesome. It's semi-passive income. Trading is the vehicle that can allow that. Yeah, it's not that I don't like real estate. I love real estate. And I understand the difference. There's a huge difference between what trading allows you to do and then what you can do in real estate. If I had to select which one to start first, it would be learning how to trade, because trading provides you with the cash flow business and it's a different dynamic. It doesn't involve you relying on people per se. Real estate to a large degree does rely on people because people got to pay their rent. Just like Jay Carley pointed out, if you own rental property, people got to make their payments because you got to make your payments for the mortgage and you got to pay for the expenses of the building or you know, whatever property that you have. So it's a huge responsibility. Absolutely. It is. Whereas with trading, you really just have to figure out how not to lose money and how to consistently take your time and earn profits. And now you got a cash flow generating business that you can kind of use the income from to do whatever else you want to. So that's why I said, which one would I do first? It would be trading, without a doubt. I would learn how to trade first. I would learn how to trade, put myself in position with cash flow, and then use the cash flow for real estate. Yep. If I wanted to do that. Yep. Stacy said the oil change should be included. Oh, with the Lambo? I don't think it is, Tracy. Oh, that's Stacy, my bad. I don't think it is, Stacy. J. Carter said for 100,000, some hot person better come to my house and change the oil on the schedule. Oh shit. J. Carter said, I'll let you know when I get there. Salim said, real estate is a dinosaurus compared to trading. So you saying that, I'm not sure what you mean by that, Salim. Salim, I'm not sure what you mean. Jeffrey said a hypercar, Lambo, Bugatti costs 15 to 20,000 for an oil change on average. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. 15,000 for an oil change? Like, that's stupid. That's stupid. Yeah, right. Jay Carter said, I'll be bad when it's $50. What? Like, I don't pay for oil changes for my vehicle because I got a maintenance plan. Just the thought of paying for it to me is disturbing. I'm like, I don't want to pay for no oil change. Anytime I buy a car, that'd be the first question. I'm like, listen, I need the maintenance plan. Whatever maintenance plan you got, I need that. I'm not trying to pay out of pocket for none of that. It's crazy. He said 15,000 for an oil change for a Bugatti or Lambo. Listen, well, that settles that. I ain't never gonna own either one of them shits. I'll rent one, but why own it? Why? That's ridiculous. Even if I'm making money to afford that, that's just like that's such a ridiculous expense to have. That shit is crazy. That's crazy to me. I don't know. I'm too blue collar for that, I guess. Way too blue collar. It's kind of like jets, like private jets. It's like, okay, private jet is cool. You know, you can get to where you want to get to and all of that. I like the idea of that. But you can just pay for the transportation for a jet. You know why you got to own it? Owning a private jet is expensive as hell. I think what's the name? Jeffrey brought it. He said it's $1 million a year just for the maintenance. So like, say you make 5-6 million a year. Let's say you make 10 million a year. You gonna have a private jet just so you're gonna blow 1 million a year just for the sake of having a private jet? No, not doing that. Nah, man. Nah. I'm sorry, I can't do it, man. Can't do it. Oh shit, Damon said. He said Iverson should have practiced 301. He said he really needed TA during them tough times. Yeah, I feel bad for him, man. I feel bad for him. JT said, leave AI alone. AI is my dude. That's why I brought him up, because I'm like, yo, he really did. He got hit hard, like with the whole lifestyle and trying to keep up with it. He just ran through his money, man. That shit is crazy, and it's very sad. That shit is crazy. Don said, once I heard, regardless of his to first class or economy, if the plane goes down, you go down with it. Right. Plane ain't gonna just stay up in first class. You ain't lied about that. Right. Yeah, Jay Carly said rent one for the floors video. That's what they be doing. They don't be owning none of them shits. They don't be owning none of them cars, bro. All of them. Your favorite rappers, all of that. They rent all of that. Cause like, why own it? Like, for what? They can be driving something different every week if they want. They just get whatever the next one is. Salim said, I spend it on jet for you. That's a service, right? Yeah, matter of fact, yeah, they got these services that you can, it's like you pay for the membership to the service, and then you can fly. You can book like a private jet or whatever to whatever destination that you're going to. Yep, they definitely got all of that. Jeffrey said Costco got private flights you can purchase on a yearly basis. Right. Fuchsia's, all the cars are business write-offs if done smart. Yeah, so are rental payments. So is lease payments. All of that shit is written off. And if you do it that way, you can switch up and get different ones. Like, you know, I mean, like, it's like you could do things however you want to when you got the cash flow to do it. My thing is that I don't really see the point of always owning something that is a liability. Like, if something costs a lot of money to maintain, I don't like that. I just don't like it. The only way I would pay a lot of money to maintain something is if I didn't have to do it. Like someone else is doing it instead of me. I don't have a problem with that. But when I got to do it and I got to pay for it, hell no. Nope. I ain't doing all of that. I just pay for somebody else to do it. I pay for the service and keep it moving. Shoot. But you know, that's just me. But excuse me. Yeah, but so definitely, without a doubt, I think that we've established that yes, trading for a living is worth striving for, because of the fact that in order for you to trade for a living, you have to get the skill set. So that means that you got to strive to achieve the skill set so that you are able to actually do it. You see what I'm saying? It's a skill set. So just like with anything that you're in pursuit of, no matter what it is, people go to school to become surgeons, doctors, lawyers. You know, they go to school to become an expert in their field of choice. So trading is the same thing. It's a field. Make no mistake about it. And the thing about trading is that once you actually are able to consistently be profitable, you got a business now. Like you actually have a business, you can scale. That's the part right there that excites me. I'm like, yo, like you realize that you're able to take your skill and take a little bit of money and scale. That's crazy. That's crazy. People pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for education and for degrees. And when they come out of school, there's still a period of time where they're not making that money that they paid. You got a 6-figure degree. It's like having a house without the house. You paid for a house, but don't have no house to show for it. That's how I look at education, especially when it's something that's not specialized. Like if you in medical school, if you're going specifically to become some type of a doctor, I understand that. Same thing for lawyer. I understand that. It's a specific thing that you're going to school for. But like people pay a lot of money for education, come out of school and then have a job, like a regular job. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Yo, that shit is insane to me. You paid for a house. People spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their education. You got a master's, you got a PhD in something. It's crazy, man. Yep. Yeah, C Corps definitely get a lot of write-offs. Just having a business, period. Just having a business, period. Even like whatever structure that you have is better than you just as an individual. You know, it could be an S Corp, it could be LLC, sole proprietorship. All of them have business write-offs. Absolutely. Yep. Jeffrey said, one reason I wanted to learn how to trade is to get away from stupidity. Job, boss, people in stores, etc. Lambo attracts stupid attention. He said, I'm good with the Honda bank account can floss. Ooh, that's hard. Ooh. That was hard. Eddie said, I have a niece that has over 45,000 in loans for some degree and still only makes $20 an hour. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Man. And it's like, I hate to hear that because, you know, you make it $20 an hour, $25 an hour. That is decent money, but you're not making enough money really to be able to pay your loans off and live. It's like you making enough to live and you can pay something towards the loans. And then the way that they do the loans is like they let you get postponement of the loan, but then they add on interest. So it's like you pay the interest only on the loan because the payment is real small, which makes it, you know, so like you can afford the payment, which is insane. So for something that you might have, like your actual tuition and everything that you spent might have been 50,000, but by the time you end up paying it off, it's 90,000 because you've been paying the interest only payments because that's what you were able to afford at the time when you first got your job. It's like a racket, yo. It's crazy. It's like it's so much manipulation. That's a lot of manipulation of the blue collar person. You know, somebody went to school for the sake of getting a degree and getting education so that they can make more money on a job. That was the whole purpose. Well, no, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna get, I'm gonna go for my master's because I can make more money if I have a master's. Then as time goes by, it's like, nah, they want you to have a damn PhD too. You have a master's, you underqualified. What? Remember back in the day, it was bachelor's. Even go back further than that, you could have had a 2-year degree. You could have had an associate's degree. And just because you had an associate's degree, you would get a decent job. Then they were like, we want only people with a bachelor's. Then it was bachelor's. Now it's not bachelor's no more. You got a bachelor's, they like, you're a little underqualified. Like, what do you mean underqualified? Oh, well, we're looking for people with masters and above. Masters? So then you go back to school to get your master's. You keep trying to bump up your education just so you can get a job that pays more. Like, this is a loop. I'm talking about this is what people are doing. That's how I know. This is what people tell me that they have to do. The shit is crazy, yo. It's crazy. Fuchsia said the military give you the same skills with experience, plus they pay for school. Right. That's why a lot of people go. A lot of people end up going to the military. You're right about that. Yep. And as far as that goes, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Because I understand, like when it's all said and done, it's the same reason that, like, in New York City, I knew a handful of dudes that I went to school with. They ended up going to become cops. Because as a cop, you can retire in 25 years. So straight out of high school, they went straight to the police academy. Because they looked at like, well, shoot, 25 years, I'm going to be 43. Right. You'll be 43 with a full pension and you can retire. And this is the thought process. It's like, I'm better off becoming a cop. I get health insurance, life insurance, right? All my benefits. I don't gotta worry about tickets. This is what people do. It's crazy. Eddie said, I'm very blessed. Without trading, I make just under 80,000. And my other niece has 2 degrees, associates and masters. And she is a teacher making around 68. Crazy, man. And then it's like the people that should be making more money don't. Like, I think teachers should make more money. I think cops and firefighters should make more. I think they should make more money. Definitely in the military, I think that they should pay them more money too. I don't think that they pay them enough. I'm like, but you got all this money. You got trillions of dollars to spend on bullshit though. But I ain't even gonna go there. That's a whole nother conversation. Whole nother conversation. It's crazy. Yep. But yeah, I feel very fortunate and blessed that I ran into trading in the financial markets early in my life. Instagram, I'll come back on. It's about to cut off. Oh, excuse me.
Have. 'Cause, 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 'cause
All right, Instagram back up. Yeah, I feel very fortunate to have run into, the financial markets early, because it's like it required all the time that I spent learning about it. All of that time was needed. And I'm talking about like years. The years that I have in the industry were necessary to learn it at the level that I'm at now. And we talking about like, this is almost 30 years. Cause I'm going on 29 years now in the financial markets. When I started reading up on and learning about finances, I was 14. I really was younger. I was like 12. But by the time I actually started opening accounts and doing shit, I was about 14. So we going on 30 years. Like this is 29 years this year. And I think about that and I'm just like, damn, all of that time, I went through all of these different phases of knowledge and understanding of the market. And all of that kind of prepared me for when I was older so that I would be in position to be able to actually do it full time. By the time I ended up leaving the workforce, it was years. I'm just thinking about it. So this is 2020. That was 2006. That was 14 years ago. So 14 years ago, I was 28. Is that right? Yeah. So 14 years ago, I was 28. So when I was 28, I quit the last job that I had. So just think about that for a second, though. If I was learning and acquiring knowledge from age 14 to 28, that's 14 years. So understand, it took me 14 years before I became, in position to trade full time. 14 years. That's how I look at it. I don't measure from when I was grown up until now. I got to include the first 14 years because I was learning the whole time. So it took me 14 years of experience and dealing with the market and money and all type of shit to actually learn about the market and position myself to trade for a living. 14 years. So that should help to kind of put it in perspective as far as like how long it can take somebody. It's going to take however long it takes. It's going to take however long it takes. And you got to be okay with the learning curve, because once you commit to learning, it's like go all in and learn. Take it serious and commit so that you can actually get the knowledge that you need and then put the work in behind the information that you are learning so that it can work for you. So it's like execution. Because you need a time, like an amount of time for not just the learning part, but you got to prove that you know it. So now you got to do it. So in the beginning, you learning everything. Then you got to go through a period of time where you actually execute what you have learned to know whether or not you actually have learned what you have been training or, acquiring as far as knowledge the whole time. And that's kind of crazy when you think about it. So as I think back, I'm like, damn. So actually, it took me 14 years before I went full time. 14 years. That helps put things in perspective a little bit. Jeffrey said, most times, even with the degree, you start in with an entry level position. Right. Yep, which is sad. Paley said cops should be defunded, but teachers, yeah, I agree. So let me rephrase. Good cops. I believe good cops should definitely make more money. The ones doing it for the right reasons, absolutely. Jeffrey said, out in Hawaii, a firefighter is the job Good salary. The average is only 10 to 15 days working a month. Lots of beach time, but most of the firefighters work another job too. Cost of living here is crazy. Yeah. That's whole nother level, man. Yeah, Hawaii, when I visited, stuff costs the same as it do in New York. I was like, whoa. I was like, well, damn. Shit is kind of pricey here too. Because you just always think like when you get out of New York, everything is less expensive, but it wasn't like that in Hawaii at all. It wasn't like that a few places that I went to. Yep. Wasn't like that. It definitely wasn't like that when I went to Switzerland. Switzerland was like on some other shit. Like Switzerland was like Fifth Avenue in New York City. Like you had to have money just to be there. Because it was like all of the stores just expensive for no reason. When I was in Switzerland, just to get like a baguette, the little pancake with the sugar on it, $15, something crazy. I was like, it's a pancake. Damn, it's a damn pancake. Jeffrey said, wait, no, Paley's 20 plus years of wisdom created MRMH, the tool that frees millions. Welcome to the Mark for the documentary. Stay tuned in. Let's give up to Don DeMarco for that. Damon said Bay Area, California, expensive as hell too. Yeah, I heard that. Yep. It's crazy, man. Why is that? What's happening? Yeah, so, you know, whatever it is that you want to do, once you figure out how to go about doing it, you know, more than likely you'll have more than one way to get there. More than likely. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes there's only one way to get there. And once you decide to get to where you're trying to get to, you're going to have to stick out the path. You can't get off the path, because the longer that you stay off the path, the longer it's going to take you to get to the destination. Like that's just period. So it's like once you make the decision, commit and do it. You know, stop getting sidetracked and falling off the path and thinking that it's just supposed to happen just because you've been around for a long time. You got to stay on the path the whole time. You can't keep sliding off the path, getting off the path, then trying to get back on and continue. You're breaking up your consistency. And anytime that you do that, you ain't gonna get to the destination because you keep getting off the path. Stay your ass put, man. Stay your ass put. Damon said that pancake better have some feel good shot baked into it. I gotta get high to forget about paying that much. And it was crazy too, because they got me. I didn't know that it was that much. You know, like when you be in these other countries, the prices is in their currency. So you got to figure out like what it is in the US. And so I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, let me get a baguette. I'm looking at the prices in my head for whatever reason. I'm thinking it's US prices. It wasn't. It wasn't at all. And when I looked at my statement, because what I did at the time, like when we were there, we were just using the card, like just use your debit card or whatever, or your credit card. And what the bank does with your debit card, they convert the currency that you're buying whatever into US dollars. So when you get your statement, you see how much it costs in US. And when I looked on it, I was like, yo, that damn pancake was $15. And it was just for the pancake. And I had got like other shit. So that one meal was like $50. I was like, yo, they got me. I was like, they got me. All I had was like, I had the baguette, and I think I had got like some kind of chocolate, something like that. It was whatever it was. It wasn't worth $50. Like it wasn't worth spending that much. But that's how much I paid. That shit was crazy. Yeah, but you gotta pay attention. Oh man, yeah. You go to Thailand, you gonna eat good. You gonna eat good in Thailand. That's a fact. Jeffrey said, yeah, spots in Cali, New York, Hawaii, always in the top 5 most expensive in the country. Yup. Yep, that's a fact all day. Yes, it is. You said, did the pancake taste good? It was good. It was good, but it wasn't enough. Like it was bad thin. Because the baguette is thin. That's what it is. It's real, real thin. And they sprinkle like the sugar on it. And it's delicious. But that shit was $15. I was like, yo, you know what I could have got for $15? I could have went to the store. I could have went to the regular grocery store and got some shit. Out here eating baguettes and shit. And at the time I was like 20. So that, you 20, you pay that much money for anything, it killed you. You like, yo, $50? That's sneakers. That's all in my head, I'm saying that. I'm like, yo, that's a pair of sneakers for me. Like, you don't understand. Pay $50 for a pancake and some chocolate. Get out of here. This was in Geneva, Switzerland, man. This was in Geneva, Switzerland. And like when you young and you traveling somewhere, you don't really know where you at like that. Like you got to figure everything out before you start spending any money because you don't know what you're doing. I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew was that I had enough, I had money in my account and I'm like, shit, I'm gonna just get what I want. Everybody was getting baguettes, so I got one. When I saw my statement, I could have punched everybody in the face that was hanging out with me because I was like, yo, why do we pay this much for this damn pancake? This shit is crazy. Yeah, that was in Geneva, Switzerland. And then by the time we went to Bern, Switzerland on the train, and we went to this place called St. Moritz. St. Moritz is in the mountains. It's freezing there. Like, yo, it was so cold. You ever be somewhere that's so cold you don't know it's that cold? Like you don't realize that it's that cold because it's like it's a different kind of cold. It's not moist. It's dry cold. So it fools you. You be outside just, doing what you're doing. Next thing you know, you feeling shit in your nose. You like, what's that? So I keep I'm rubbing my nose and I'm like, yo, why do it feel like I got like boogers in my nose? My nose hairs were frozen. That's how cold it was. And I'm talking about just standing outside for like 5 minutes. I'm like, yo, what the hell? I'm thinking I got boogers in my nose. When I went back inside, I was like, yo, ain't no boogers in my nose. That's my hairs was frozen. Yo, it was so cold, my nose hairs was frozen, man. It's crazy. Yep. Yeah. Bruno, what's happening? He said the COVID mask would have came in handy. Paley said, I'm gonna write that down as the not go list for now. Oh shit. But what I did enjoy London though. London was good because they like simple, fish and chips. Fish and chips, you know what I'm saying? Which is just fish and French fries. That's all it is. But they call French fries chips. Fish and chips. Delicious. Yep. Delicious. I enjoyed London. Paris was alright. In Paris, I didn't really eat that much because, Paris, they got the meat market like outside. Anybody that been there know what I'm talking about. Outside, like when you come outside on the street, the meat market is literally, they got like wires, like stretched from these two poles. And on the wire is like roadkill hanging, like what we would call roadkill. All type of animals, all type of shit. They had a beaver, they had a raccoon. I saw a muskrat, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? It was the meat market. I was like, I'm like, these is animals. Like, I'm thinking in my head, like, yo, who's eating this? That was the meat market. Remember, I'm young though. I'm like 20, so I didn't understand any of this shit. I'm like, yo, first of all, the meat market's outside. I'm thinking like, you're gonna see some cows and shit hanging, like beef. There was no beef anywhere. It just was all type of other animals, all type of shit. I was like, interesting. Damon said, any Jamaican or African spots in London? Yeah. Matter of fact, I think when I was in London at that time, yeah, we had found there was a young girl. She was mad young. She was like in her 20s too. She was like 25. She was driving a BMW, and she had owned a little restaurant where she was serving West Indian food. And she was talking about, how the standard of living is much lower over there than it is in the United States. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, over here you can, if you're making like 35, 40,000 a year, you can afford a nice BMW and an apartment. I was like, damn. And she had owned her little restaurant, and she was young. She was mad young, doing her thing. So yeah, I got to experience that, and the food was good. Yup, and the food was good. Stacy says she loved Paris. She loved Costa Rica. Costa Rica, I'm definitely going to go to. I want to also visit Colombia. Famous, I would have been like, what in the bloody hell is this? Just my whole expression was thrown off because I didn't understand like what it was. I'm like this looked like they just killed it. Like it wasn't skinned or nothing. It just was hanging off the wire. Like it looked alive. It looked like if it was alive, it would move. Like it didn't look like it was dead. They looked like they were alive, just hanging off the wire. And that was the meat market. I was like, all right, I ain't gonna eat no meat over here. Oh man. Yeah, I appreciate it, Bruno. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you tuning in, definitely. Paley says, sound like a Halloween house. Yo, it was crazy. Yeah, so needless to say, when I was in Paris, I didn't eat that much. I think the most I had was like croissants. I was eating cheese. Like I was eating like that until the last day when we were there, we had found a pizza shop. And it was a little Italian guy. He said he was living in Paris for, I think he said 20 years. And I don't know how we found it. We just like one day, on that last day, we was like, yo, let's just walk around. So we walked around like looking for something to eat. And I was like, yo, is that a pizza shop? It was a pizza shop. And he made this pizza. It was a pan pizza and it was thin, like authentic Italian pizza. He was really an Italian living in Paris. And he was like, he lived there for 20 years. He speaks French and Italian and English. I I was like, yo, you the man. So we just stayed, like, we just spent the whole rest of our time there. He gave us wine. And like, over there, when you eat at certain places, like it's very personal. You know what I'm saying? Like they serve you like they serving you in their house. So he was like, bringing his wife and his kids out. They was coming out drinking. They was excited because we was from New York. Then they were talking about, oh, the Yankees, oh, the Yankees. Like everybody loved the Yankees. As soon as you say New York, they talking about the Yankees. So he was bringing out wine and yeah, it was nice. It was a fun time. Especially to be as young as I was, because like I had not been enjoying myself up to that point. I was like, yo, I'm hungry and I'm not eating nothing. Because another thing that had turned me off, and this is no offense to anybody, but like fondue, oh my God. They served us fondue in a closed room. And I had to leave. I was like, yo, I cannot sit in here with this. Fondue, if you're not familiar with it, it has a very peculiar smell. I guess some people that like it, they call it aroma. But it's cheese. It's like cheese in a pot. And it's kind of like, it's liquidy kind of, but it's like stringy. And you're supposed to take the cheese and like spoon it out and then dip it on the bread and then eat it. But I was like, yo, I can't eat that. That cheese smells crazy. Just the smell alone, I was like, all right, I'm out. I was like, I'm out. No fondue for me, man. No fondue for me. Yup. Stacy said, you don't have to tip. That's funny. Yeah, she's right though. Yep, you don't. We gave the little Italian man a nice tip though. He hooked us up. Yo, we like for real. We drank a whole bottle of wine. He brought out a nice bottle of wine. We drank the whole bottle. We were sitting there talking about New York shit, cracking jokes, and he was funny too. Like he was like old school Italian. Mad funny. Crazy. Yeah, I'm talking about the cheese pot, J. Carly. She said she come back, I'm talking about the cheese pot. Yes. So you like your slides, huh? She got her TA slides now. You definitely can't tell her nothing. Can't tell her nothing. Oh, you got the mask too? When did you order the mask? I didn't know that. Ooh, that's hard. Damon said, we manufacture cheese here at TA, no fondue. Like that. We manufacture cheese. I like that. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. So you don't have the mask, but you got the slides. I know. I know that's right. You talking as if they came already too. As if the mask came already. She said ordered leggings, a new shirt. You got the whole get up, huh? Damn, this phone battery down already. What the hell? All right, so this market, that was the last binary right there for this session. So that will reopen at 6. which is in another hour. So I could turn this alarm off. Oh, Stevie. Oh, sorry about that. Yep. But very, 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 very enjoyable topic today. This was good. Yeah, this was really good today. Socks over the leggings with the slides on. You're gonna look like the chick from what's that movie? It's a movie with a chick that's kind of dressed like that. You know what I'm talking about. I forgot what it's called though. But she's dressed like how you describing, kind of. And I didn't see the movie. That's why I don't remember the name. But it was popular in the theater for a minute. Yeah, but yep. So trading definitely worth it. Trading for a living is definitely worth striving for because of what it gives you the freedom to do. And you can only be in position to trade for a living if you got the skill set. So bottom line is you need the skill set to be able to do it. And you also, if you're not fond of trading or like fully educated on what it is, I think that you should take the time to actually get some education about what trading involves, because I don't think that people are as aware or as knowledgeable about trading as they think that they are. Some people think that they got it figured out and they're like, very dismissive when it comes to trading because they don't know how to do it successfully. Of course, there's going to be people like that like, nah, I ain't, you might as well gamble. Well, when you say you might as well gamble, it has more to do with your lack of understanding of what trading actually entails. For you, it's gambling because you don't know what you're actually doing in the market and you just flipping the coin. So you hoping for the best. And that's how you're conducting yourself when it comes to trading. So yeah, that's how you look at it. That's why you would say such a thing. But for those of us in the know, we understand that trading is something that is a skill set, just like a surgeon. Like literally, somebody go to school to become a doctor, to become a surgeon. To me, that's how I look at learning how to trade. Precision is required. Patience is required. Discipline is required. These are all requirements if you're going to do surgery on somebody. Think about it. So why would you treat it any different? So if you look at it in terms of the reward that comes from it, as a surgeon, it's very rewarding to be able to operate on somebody successfully. You might be saving somebody's life because of surgery that you performed on them with precision. So it's worth it for you to take your time, learn what you need to do in the field in order to have successful surgeries, right? That's how I look at it. Same thing can be applied to what trading is. Learn how to do it right. Learn how to do it so that it can be an actual business for you and you can do it for a living. You can do that too. You can do that too. Yep. Pele said gambling is a 9-to-5 job, 40 years in the hole. Oof. Yep, we manufactured cheese. Yeah, that was hard. That was definitely hard. All right, y'all, let me get up out of here, man. I'm gonna go enjoy this beautiful day. It's nice out here today. Definitely nice outside. Might be pool weather. Wait, hold on. What's the temperature? Nah, it ain't pool weather. I don't think it's hot enough yet. But it's walk weather. I'll go for a little walk or something. Yes, indeed. All right, so market reopen at 6. I'll probably be back on around 7, observing. That's usually around the time I come back on, so be back on around that time. All right, y'all, I'm out. Y'all enjoy, man. I'll see y'all in training. Everybody else, mañana. Instagram, deuces.